Greetings, all Shardvixen. Okay, so this is Know Thyself. I am in the garage again. I will probably be in the garage for a couple of times because, well, I don't have any other place at the moment to do my vlogs. Um, it's busy stuff. Got a hair thing going on again. I tried to bleach it. My daughter has bleaching kit, and apparently bleach does get old, or the solution does. So it's not very. See, it's not. It bleached a little bit, but it's more grayish than anything. So that's the way it is. Anyway, today's comic books. Not reading. This is about talking about me and my comic books, and it's really about a character, not the comic books per se, because I did collect the comic books characters in, and it's one of the reasons I keep reading that particular comic book, but it's mostly about Blink. So, Blink originally showed up in. Let me get it there. Uh oh. Where is it at? Well, hang on. I have to go get it. Okay. So, it's this one. She shows up in this one. I didn't like this storyline personally, but I did like Blink in it, and I don't have my glasses, so I can't read it to you. But that's the first right here. There's Blink. Anyway, they kill her off in the X-Men. She's supposed to join. Let me see. Generation. I don't have that one in there. Generation next. This one. Here it is. Let's take it out of the thing for a minute. I'm not very well prepared. I don't think she makes it to join them though. I think she ends up dying before she's in it. The Generation next storyline is cute. But what they did with Kitty Pryde in it was pretty cool. Because there she is right there. But it's not. And this is the Age of Apocalypse. And I like this one because Kitty Pryde is like badass in it. But that's probably my favorite story with Blink, besides Exiles, which is a comic book they created just for Blink, or they used her in it, which is in alternative timelines. They go through and fix these alternative timelines, and I'm sorry for the sound in the back, but it's probably, let's see, it's probably this Blink. Can you see it right there? That I like the best. I watched Gifted as well for her, but I find the older I get, the harder it is to watch TV shows and things where the people look really young. I don't mind watching them if they're like in their 20s and 30s, and I know they're in their 20s and 30s, but the idea of watching teenagers is just, I don't know, it's not something I enjoy, I guess. Anyway, so I watched it, The Gifted, which had Blink and Thunderbird, who I always liked as a character as well. Thunderbird, I just didn't think they used the characters correctly. Anyway, so Exiles is where they go jumping through. Exiles is a good comic book. If you like What If, Exiles is like that because they go from different realities, and so all the characters in the Marvel universe, or especially the X-Men universe, are different, and that's kind of cool. Like I think they end up with Storm as a vampire in one. Havoc is in with Blink, and in 2018 they rebooted it again. That's the other thing about comic books. They keep rebooting comic books. I hear the newest version of Marvel right now is a little bit depressing because they explore a lot more mental health issues. Um, but what did I like about Blink? I think it's Blink's power that I like. I like the idea of teleportation. I mean, I would want to teleport from, I mean, just think about it. I could go visit anybody anywhere. So all the friends I make online, I could just pop over to where they were at, visit them, hang out, and pop back. She's also, I think she's a lot like Magic, and she can eventually she teleports from like one reality to the next reality as well. But I think teleporting, and Nightcrawler learns to do that too. Is a series story where he does it as well. And I think the idea of that is very intriguing to me because I would love to just be able to stay in one place and then think of someone or think of some place and pop over to that, and then also explore other dimensions. Though exploring other dimensions might be a bit scary. I mean, for someone who suffers from anxiety, uh, the idea of getting on airplanes and going in cars and even to a degree walking sometimes is very scary to me. Because I firmly believe, since I've been a small child, that everything outside of my house is trying to kill me. Might be stuff inside my house that'd kill me, but I had to learn to have a safe zone that wasn't that way. And when I get overly anxious, I will crawl in my bed or wrap myself up because I need to feel safe. And that's the thing. Um, but since this is know thyself, it's like comic books always have been my way. Oops. Comic books have always been my, as my son telling me, he got where he was going, I think. Let's see. Oh no. My sister ordered from Burger King, so they're just telling me they're coming. Um, Comic books have always been my safe zone. That's the world that is different. The world that you could immerse yourself into and feel like I could see myself as a superhero. I never wanted to be a super villain per se. Um, Always a superhero, but I didn't always want to be saving stupid people though, and that's what heroes do. They tend to save everybody, and some people just don't need to be saved. Um, we talk about that a lot in my house about being a tyrant. It's very easy to become a tyrant because you start out with a belief that what you're doing is best for the world, and then you find out that there are people that don't want to toe the line with you, and you have to get rid of those people, and in the process of doing that, then you become a tyrant and a dictator because you're telling everybody what's the best thing about them. When you're a parent, that happens too. There's a fine line in being a very authoritative parent and being um lucky ducky, loosey 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 goosey kind of parent, and then that in between. um I wanted to be an in between parent. I wanted them to do what I want them to do, but I want them to have a choice in what they want to do. If I was a goddess, the goddess that I am, and I owned a civilization, everyone would have to do it the way I wanted to do to a degree. Um, I don't. I think I would be. I think I would be able to now. I don't know if when I was younger, but now I'd be able to say, okay, here's the rules, and we're going to stick to them. And if you don't stick to them, we're going to put you on a boat and float you away, or feed you to the fish, or do whatever it is. Um, I used to believe in the idea of no capital punishment, um, like no death penalty or anything. But if we're reversing that to putting them in a box and keeping them there, I think that killing them is the better option. Unless of course you go with my option, which is they get to donate their body to the purpose of science, and if they survive through it, they get to live their life out in leisure someplace else. Um, so but then you could do all those experiments on people that are ethically not allowed to prisoners who sign themselves away. Very Assassin's Creed. If you watch the Assassin's Creed movie, not, and I'm not giving you any spoilers, but if you go look at that, I'm not sure that he actually signed himself away because he was dead, and so then they decided, yeah. So that was a spoiler. If you haven't seen the movie, sorry, but comic books. It's interesting because if you think about who writes and draws comic books, and then you wonder where sometimes they've made such a connection to you, but those people are not really representation, of me. Like most of the things that I love to read and write were written by men, not women. Though I guess since I'm not a real gender person, it doesn't matter. And they're very one dimensional, beings, so it's easy to kind of go, oh, there's no in-depthness there. I always think about things like that, which is probably why I like comic books. Because if you think about a comic book character, which is a very one-dimensional person, character, not just because they're on paper, but just because they're very one-dimensional. They don't carry human secrets. They don't carry human desires per se. I mean, everything you get is whatever they are here or whatever the writer's doing in the narration. So, all right. Well, so what I liked about Exiles, though, is she seemed like a really strong female. In Exiles, they portray that a whole lot more. In this storyline, let me find it again. Throwing my comic books around. In this story, she's not. She's a very young teenager who's lost and needs help. I'm sorry, I'm cold. That's why it's cold out here. It was 37 degrees when I got up. But she becomes in the story in this one in the Age of Apocalypse. She is because she was rescued by Weapon X, which is Wolverine, and then Sabretooth takes her on, and he's a good guy in this storyline. He's a good guy, and he takes her on, and he mentors her and adopts her, and so she's his daughter, and they have a very close relationship. And then how that goes, but you can only when you write characters, you can only go with the logical or illogical end of where someone would be. So an example of that is person steps out into the road, right? You have a person step out in a road. You give them a name, you give them some characteristics, you have them step out in the middle of the road. Logically, there's things that could happen. They could cross all the way across the road, now to be a problem. They could dance in the middle of the road. They could lay down in the middle of the road. They could get ran over. They could get hit. They could hold, traffic hostage. So there's these logical ways that a story would go. And then depending on where you go with that next piece of story, there's another logic. So in Exiles, though, they take them and they go bouncing around. I am bouncing all around today. But I like Exiles. That's why I like her. That's a pretty cute story line. I haven't read the 2018, I don't think. I think that my daughter collects that more than me. I feel like my eyes are sunken in here. Sorry, guys. Oh, no. There we go. No? Is that better? No, it still sits funny. I have some ideas for mask making. There's a tangent. Anyway, that's it for that. Comic books are comic books, and pretty much for me, it's always the same when I talk about them. They represented a time period of characters or things going on that reflected on me. I have always struggled to be a strong female. Because I suffer from the anxiety and I'm afraid of everything. It's really hard sometimes to be strong. You want others to be strong for you, but that doesn't work. Lately, though, my hands are cold. Old hands. I was just thinking about, I get where I get physically lonely. I talk about that all the time. I'm not sure that I want somebody to hang out. Well, yeah, I would want somebody to hang out with, but they always end up. If you think about it, sometimes people disappoint you, and for me, it's really hard because of the bipolar. Some days I want to be around them a lot, and then some days I don't want to be around them at all. My kids are about the only thing I've ever been around all the time. But I guess because the expectations are different. But anyway, that's it for this vlog. It's a short one. We're getting back into it. My vlogs might not be every week for a while because I don't know. It depends on how I'm feeling. I've started a new exercise routine. I am up to 29 minutes straight of moving to music. It is dancing, but a lot of times I do a little bit of jogging and some swaying and other things. And 38, 28, 38 minutes of walking. So I'm almost to 40 minutes. So sorry about that sound. Jill is approaching with your order from Burger King. Woohoo! All right. Anyway, that's it. And sometimes I'll chat at the end, but that's all for me today. Next week, of course, is a topic one, and we're going back to the 50 greatest mysteries, or I'll be reading a comic book. I might read a comic book. I might read one of these, but in connection with the Exiles. Anyway, I'll catch you all on the flip side, and I'm out of here. Peace. Heads.